Well, that was a thing that happened. Let's talk to Elphanod. Elphanod. Suicune, the dragons are routed. Lest you wonder, the fighting at the Steel Vigil was also fierce, but my Crystal Braves were not found wanting. Sir Merrick showed up. Merrick. Commander Leveleur, Suicune. True to your word, you arrived to aid us in our hour of need. On behalf of the Holy See and the people of Ishgard, I offer you my humble thanks. Though I would stay and lavish you with well-deserved praise, I fear I must away to oversee the aftermath of the siege. Not all the dragons are fled, and there are yet wounded to be carried from the field. Pray let us meet anon, that I might express my thanks with the proper courtesy. I wonder how many of our people died. Elphanod was looking to our group, who just kind of smiled proudly, like, yeah, we got this. Elphanod, we have indeed achieved a victory of singular importance. With the Dravanian horde thus weakened and scattered, the threat to Ishgard has been greatly diminished. And, mayhap equally significant, the Holy See must now recognize the necessity of cooperation with foreign powers. Long have they barred their gates against the outside world, but I am confident that the day will soon come when Ishgard proclaims itself a member of the Eorzean Alliance once more. Much have we sacrificed in our struggles against the dragons and primals, the Ascians and the Empire. But, step by unfaltering step, we march ever nearer to our goal. And as ever, the journey is made with you in the van? Yeah, in the van. Didn't know vans were a thing. The victory you have won this day gives us greater hope for the morrow. Tis a hope that shall sustain us in the days to come, and bear us past the many evils that yet seek to hinder our progress. Yes, we have done well, my friend, and I, for one, would take a moment to savor the enormity of our achievement. I nod, with a little smile. The demands of duty, however, allow me little time for levity. I must accompany Captain Ilberd back to Old Da, and reassign those braves whose squads suffered heavy losses. You, my friend, have earned a rest at the Rising Stones. Pray return to Revenant's Toll and share your tale with Minfilia in person. Elphanod nods to the group and they wave goodbye. Thancred. We will see to informing the other nations of what took place here. Do be sure to give our regards to Minfilia. Everyone goes to leave. Minfilia. Suicune, welcome back. Elphanod sent word of the siege, and of course of the role you played in ending it. Your deeds never cease to amaze me, Suicune. Thank you. I mean, honestly, I really didn't do any more than what anybody else did. I mean, I healed everyone. Got the achievement Broken Bridges. But yeah, I mean, technically I didn't do any more than Yida or Pelpamio or Thancred or anybody else. Administrative decision. You must be weary, Suicune, and now may very well be your only chance to... Tataru, antecedent! Tataru bursts in. She gives me a little wave. She's like, hi. A message from Alda arrived with a missive for you. She gives it to Menphilia. Menphilia. The royal seal. Curious indeed. Ah, an invitation. On behalf of the Council of the Eorzean Alliance, Her Royal Majesty Nanamo Ol Namo invites the Scions of the Seventh Dawn to attend a feast at the Royal Palace of Ul'dah in honor of Ishgard's recent victory. It would seem we are to be recognized for our part in lifting the siege, you for your valiant efforts as commander of the adventurers' contingent, and the Archons for their earnest attempts to rouse the city-states. Truly, I find it strange that the Alliance leaders should think themselves deserving of a place at such a celebration. All three refused to deploy their standing armies, preferring to send hastily assembled companies of sellswords, many of whom perished ere the siege began. Are they truly so brazen as to seek to share in the glory of your triumph? But mayhap they simply seek a pretext to meet with the Ishgardians while the mood is yet jubilant. Such an occasion would present a fine opportunity to press for Ishgard's return to the Eorzean Alliance. We have scarce had time to mourn Moen Brydas, and I, for one, am in no mood to carouse. But I suppose we must put away our grief for the good of the realm. Though you were promised rest, I fear I must insist that you also attend. It would be a strange celebration indeed, if the victorious hero were not present. Pray content yourself with the thought that such occasions may bring about numerous change, and this without recourse to bloodshed. Tataru, if you would do me the favor of contacting the rest of the Scions. Tataru gives a little cheer. Of course, antecedent! And please let me know if there's anything else I can do. She gives a little sigh at her shoulders like, more work. She leaves. Menphilia. Curious. I have never known Tataru to sigh at such requests. Could aught be amiss? Don't you just speak to Tataru? Give her a little pep talk. Maybe I do need to give Tataru a pep talk. Let's go talk to Tataru. Let's go find her. Tataru, what's wrong? Well, I see Tataru's desk, but where's Tataru? Tataru is conspicuous by her absence. Huh. Flamin, have you seen Tataru? Tataru? I believe she just stepped outside. Now that I think on it, she did seem rather preoccupied. Again, that's kind of unlike her, but let's see. There's a bunch of girls over here. So of course Thancred's over here by a bunch of girls. Ladies, please, this is no way to... Oh, hello, Suicune. I was just, entertaining some friends. Oh, gods. Let me guess, some notches on your belt there, Thancred? Is that what's going on over there? And they're arguing over who's the best? Hey, Tataru, what you doing on this roof by yourself? Oh, Suicune, it's you. I didn't mean to worry anyone. It's nothing, really. Well, it's not nothing, exactly. But it feels like nothing compared to the towering trials you and the others face every day. And that's why I should probably talk to Minfilia before things get any worse. You always know what to say, Suicune. I'm glad we had this little chat. Glad I could help. Maybe Tataru needs an assistant. Tataru, my mind is made up. Uh-oh, what does that mean? Minfilia. Yes, Tataru, you have my undivided attention. Tataru. I've been hesitant to broach the subject, what with all the recent excitement, but Suicune made me realize that there's no time like the present, and time is what I'm here to ask you for. Minfilia. I'm not sure I understand. If you wish to be excused from your duties for a time, then you have certainly earned the rest. But I suspect that lying abed is far from your intent. Tataru smiles. Tataru, you know me too well, Antecedent. There is, in fact, something I've been wanting to try my hand at. Along with the adventurers and the Crystal Braves, the Scions are constantly being thrown into dangerous battles and deadly predicaments. She shakes her head. Even Hoary Boulder and Coltonet have been promoted from guard duty to fill our need for competent warriors. She gives a little cheer. And so it seems only right that I, too, should acquire the power to defend myself, and others more importantly. When I return, I shall be both your receptionist and your bodyguard. Wow. Tataru gives a little curtsy. She looks to me and smiles, then runs out of the office. Hoary Boulder, whoa, hey! Hoary Boulder enters the office. That's the first time I've almost been knocked to the ground by a Lalafell. I've never seen Miss Tataru so determined. Has aught befell with which I might help, Antecedent? Minfilia nods. Not at present, thank you. Was there something you would ask of me? Hoary Boulder. Oh, yes. Pray excuse my distraction. An adventurer who was to join us for escort duty was injured while out on patrol. And I fear we cannot properly defend the scholars entrusted to our protection without the aid of at least one more guard. Therefore, I humbly request that another adventurer, of the capable kind, of course, be assigned to our party. Minfilia. Very well. I shall consider the potential candidates and provide you with a replacement as soon as I am able. Hoary Boulder. My thanks, Antecedent. I take my leave of you. He gives a respectful bow and leaves. Wow, Tataru, I never expected you to go into fighting. There's two of them. So I've got two possible story quests. An unexpected ambition and where we are needed. I mean, I'm assuming I have to do both of them at some point, so let's just do the first one. An unexpected ambition. The power to defend oneself? Tataru has ever been full of surprises. Now that I think on it, I do recall Urianger mentioning that she had developed an interest in Arcanima. Mayhap she hopes to gain admittance to the Arcanist Guild in Limsa Luminsa? Yes, that would be the way of it. Well, would you be so kind as to journey to the guild and see that all is well? It is doubtless unwarranted, but surely I am not alone in my concern for her safety. Oh, absolutely not. Can I also take this other quest? Where we are needed. Well, let me do this other quest first. So this unexpected ambition one. Can anyone in Final Fantasy become, like, a mage? I mean, does everyone just have magical powers and not everyone uses it? Because I thought that was something that you were born with. Like, you were either born being able to use magic or you weren't. Like, in most fantasy works. You either can or you can't. Alright, where's Tataru? She's in here somewhere. The quest thing says she's right here. Maybe downstairs? Let's go down the winding staircase and see if we can find her. There she is down there. Hi, Tataru. Tataru looks surprised. Suikyun, what are you doing here? Just came to check up on you, make sure you're okay. I didn't mean for her to worry. That's the last thing I wanted. Putting an end to such worries is precisely the reason I'm here, don't you see? Yeah, I get it. I, Tataru Taru, shall become a great and powerful arcanist. She does a little cheer. And now, at Mistress Thurbrigan's behest, I'm gonna go with that, I must go and complete a special training exercise. Until we meet again. I mean, magic would be easier, I would think, for a Lalafell. Considering how teeny tiny they are. Let's go back upstairs. I don't see her anymore. Let's talk to the Guildmaster. The Guildmaster, who I've never seen before, is wearing a long kind of gray-blue coat, and the coat goes basically all the way down to her ankles. And she's wearing kind of like a white tunic-y sort of shirt underneath it. I think she's one of those orc people, because she's got kind of gray skin, and she's got like long, pretty, wavy hair, but I think it's brown. Greetings and welcome to the Arcanist Guild. Do you require assistance? So, you are acquainted with our newest member. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but I fear young Tataru may not be ideally suited to the study of Arcanima. Nevertheless, she would not be denied, and goes now to undertake her first trial, a simulated inspection of 3 crates. A simple task, some might say, but one all arcanists are expected to complete. A thought occurs to me. Why not supervise Tataru's training? You are clearly an accomplished adventurer, and given your relationship with the girl, you seem an ideal person to have on hand. Her trial will be conducted at the cliffs south of Zephyr Gate. You need only observe at a distance. Is it because she's maybe not strong enough in magic? Or, again, like, is it something where you either kind of are or not type deal? Maybe she doesn't have really any magic affinity. Let's go fly there. On my electric horsey. Alright, found my destination, so let's go hide behind this little tiny tree here. Up on a slight ledge above the crates. Tataru. Over azure seas to Pirate's Port, where she met her shining jewel. For to bring these smugglers' plans to naught, came the lass whom none could fool. Beat 'em with a backdraft, gut 'em with a gust, deck 'em with a downburst, go, carbuncle, go! Oh ho ho! Are those crates I spy? There's a little carbuncle there. Ah, and this must be the true test. But we're ready for them, aren't we, carbuncle? Oh, there's just like a rabbit that showed up. Oh no. I mean, she was able to summon a carbuncle, so that's pretty magical. The carbuncle just like ran off. Carbuncle? Aw. She's like, where'd he go? Carbuncle's gone. He's running way far away. Aw. Oh, 3 giant squid things showed up. Oh. Oh no! Oh, she knows how to run away really fast. Hi, Tataru. Fancy meeting you here. She's hiding behind a rock. I should have known you'd come, Suikyun. You needn't say a word. Your face says it all. I know you bore witness to my shame. Aw, I'm sorry. betrayed by my own carbuncle and left at the mercy of wild beasts. I must accept the truth. I'll never be a warrior like you or the others. I will inform Mistress Thurbragim of my intention to withdraw from the guild. Our Akanima, like so much else, is beyond me. Aw. Oh, she's crying. Oh no. Don't cry, Tataru. She runs off. Aw. I'll probably just go back downstairs. Let's go down the winding staircase. Or not. I don't see her down there. Let's go back upstairs. Oh, I just need to look more to the right. There we go. Third bridegroom, whatever. Ah, back so soon? How fared our fledgling arcanist? Tataru walks up. Abysmally, Mistress Thurbragim. Abysmally, as Suikyun will testify. I was wrong to become an arcanist. Wrong as usual. I am completely and utterly unqualified, and I sincerely apologize for wasting your time. Thurbragim. Tataru. If that were true, I would not have permitted you to join in the first place. We must all come to accept our limitations, lest our ambitions lead us astray. However, we must not lose sight of our strength in the process. For example, your exceptional skill with numbers helped you to gain a solid grasp of the fundamentals of Arcanima. Were it not so, you would have struggled even to summon Carbuncle to your side. In my opinion, these scions are truly fortunate to have such a capable and good-natured receptionist in their service. Would you not agree? Of course. Tataru. You are too kind, Mistress Thurbragim. Though I could not overcome this challenge, I shall take your words to heart and try not to be discouraged. She gives a little curtsy. So it sounds like she does have some skill. Ancient ways, timeless wants. Tataru. As fetching as these garments are, I fear I shall never don them again. But I can't go back to the Rising Stones without something to show for my time away. Wait, I know what I can do. That is, if you don't mind accompanying me for a little longer. Yeah, that's fine. She cheers. Is that outfit different than her usual outfit? Well, I guess it is a little different, yeah. Wonderful! Then to Casa del Sol we will go. It's a bit of a gamble, but I am confident it will pay off. Okay. wasn't she was able to summon the carbuncle, and she said, like, you know, that was good? I mean, it sounds like if she had practiced, maybe she would have been okay at it, but maybe she just isn't strong enough or something. Oh, we're at the very lovely beach. Did Tatru's outfit change? Yeah, it did. Tatru's now in a swim outfit. She's got a two-piece bathing suit, white top, with a red cloth wrapped around her waist, and a very pretty pink hat with a pink flower on it. I actually had a hat not too different from that. Tatru. Yes, this is it. This is where the man at the Drowning Wench told me to look. There is a certain variety of clam which can be harvested this time of year in Bloodshore, one which produces the most marvelous pearls. However, these clams are so coveted by certain wild creatures, and since I fared rather poorly in battle last time, let's be off. What fortune? I've already found one. Would you be so kind as to keep watch while I work? This should only take a moment. Let's go over here and watch Tatru. You sense a hostile presence. A Morgar. It's basically like a giant sea snake. Not unlike Leviathan. It's pretty strong, too. A lot of the monsters I've been fighting out in the overworld just kind of died now that I'm so overpowered. This guy's at 40% health. He's pretty tanky. He's dead now. She collapsed. Well fought, Suicune, well fought. I knew I was right to ask you to come. As for me, she gives a little cheer, I have my prize, a bounty of blood pearls. So named for their reddish hue, they were treasured as wards against dark magics in ancient times. I thought I might make charms for everyone, so that no matter where they go, they will always come home. Aw. It's sort of the power to defend myself and other people, in a way. Right? Well, I mustn't keep Flamin' waiting. There's work to be done, and lots of it. We're to secure provisions for the Scions in the Lominson markets. She may have an eye for quality, but I have a nose for bargains. Will you be heading back to the Rising Stones? If so, pray convey my apologies to the antecedent, and tell her that she needn't worry about me. She waves. Farewell, Suicune, and thank you for everything. That sounded rather final, didn't it? How about, until we meet again? Or see you back at work. She started to walk away, and then she stops and turned around to wave at me, and I nod. And she runs off confidently. Tatru stops. Oh, she's got a little rose bracelet. She stops and turns to me and gives a little smile. And then continues walking off. Wow, it is completely empty in the Rising Stones. And I mean, 100% empty. Menphilia. Welcome home, Suicune. I gather you found Tataru and Limsa Lominsa? Yeah, see what happened was. My, it sounds as though she had quite an adventure. And while it did not end as she had hoped, I suspect that it will prove to be a valuable experience. I dare say she could have managed without our intervention. Even so, I appreciate you indulging my request. I mean, not the sea serpent part. She would have died. Easy. That thing would have just swallowed her whole. Where we are needed. I wonder, do you perchance recall the commitment I made to furnish Hori Boulder with a capable adventurer? Well, I am sorry to say that I have as yet been unable to do so. Now I realize that you are rather more than a capable adventurer, and that escort duty is frankly beneath a woman of your talents. But I have no one else to turn to at present. Might you be willing to forego rest and assist us in this matter? I nod. I mean, if it's gonna be so easy, it practically will be rest for me at this point. Generous to a fault. I thank you, Suicune. Now, it seems only fair that I explain the import of the task in question. For some time, our order has employed a handful of scholars to travel around Eorzea, taking etheric readings that we might better understand the impact of primal summonings. Naturally, it behooves us to ensure our employees' safety, and so we ask the adventurers in our service to serve as escorts. Hori Boulder and Cultinet were to act as two such escorts, as was a third adventurer. Alas, due to injury, said adventurer is not presently fit for duty, hence my need to impose upon your goodwill. You truly are a pillar of strength, Suicune. Hori Boulder will share with you the details of your task. He should be waiting for you outside. Be safe. There's still that unresolved thing about the weapons that we're supposed to have gotten, and then Wildred suddenly disappeared. So, yeah, I wonder whatever happened to that. Hori Boulder. Ah, Suicune! Is it true that you agreed to lend us a hand? It is, yeah. Kids' little cheer. Huzzah! What did I tell you, Cultinet? Our misfortune is becoming a blessing. An opportunity to serve alongside the Warrior of Light herself. Cultinet. Need I remind you that we have 3 scholars to escort, each of whom will take a different route? Hori Boulder. True, but our mission is the same. Separated by mums we may be, but in spirit we shall be together. Also, I'm basically escorting them by myself. Cultinet shrugs. If such thoughts bring you joy, you are welcome to think them. To more practical concerns. Suicune, we would have you attend to the scholar charged with surveying the South Shroud. Give me whatever the most difficult one is. Hori Boulder. He is waiting at Camp Tranquil as we speak. All you need to do is follow the man, and he will determine the most appropriate locations to take his readings. In spirit, Suicune, in spirit, we shall be together every step of the way. Whatever makes you happy, dude. Unsettled Scholar. Alright, let's talk to them. At last, the Scion's woman deigns to grace me with her presence. Oh, at last, the Scion's woman deigns me to grace me with her presence. A pity that we have no time for pleasantries. Our first destination is Assam Har. Come, we are late enough as it is. Alright. You can walk there. I'm gonna go fly. Unsettled Scholar. Yes, this location should suffice. Once I finish calibrating my instruments, I will require but a moment to take the necessary measurements. I trust I need not explain that my work can suffer no interruptions. Then please, stand at an appropriate distance and keep watch for wild beasts. I'm kind of surprised we're here looking for ether, because there's no ether crystals or anything. It's just a typical forest. Maybe they want to see what it's like when there's not a lot of crystals around. This is a hostile presence. There's an angry plant. Oh, there's a few angry plants. Oops, I think I accidentally pissed off a deer. I keep attacking other things by accident. Oops. I see we have both completed our respective tasks. A satisfactory outcome. Though if I could make one suggestion, you might try to dispatch your foes more quietly in the future. I do not like to pick fault, but I really must be allowed to concentrate. Now then, Snake's Molt awaits, shall we? Yeah, I'll try to conjure the forces of wind and earth more quietly, sir. Unsettled Scholar. Right about here, yes. As before, I would ask that you keep an eye out for dangerous beasts as I work. Oh, there's quite a few things. That's alright. I shall bully them to death. Hopefully bullying things to death isn't too loud for this guy. Fascinating. These readings are not at all what I expected. Though perhaps that shall come as no surprise. I am not given to superstition, but there is a queer, almost blasphemous air hereabouts. Let us quit this place and return to Roots Lake. We have one more site to survey. I thought this would be kind of like an escort mission, and it kind of is, but it's a lot more broken up than a typical escort mission. I thought we'd literally be following them around like we've done in a couple of other quests. As before, my guardian, pray leave me to my task and ensure our safety. Seems a hostile presence. I mean, yeah, there's a couple of them. I can see where a competent adventurer would have sufficed thus far. I mean, so far it's just normal things. This data should prove invaluable to... Ye gods, what is that stench? Did you slaughter a creep of admantoids while my back was turned? Quickly now, to Camp Tranquil. I will not have my clothing reek of blood and offal. I mean, killing stuff is dirty business, what can I say? You chose to paddle in the ichor a while longer, I take it. No matter. I took advantage of my unexpected privacy and performed a cursory analysis of my data. It would appear that there has been a measurable decrease in Eorzea's ambient ether concentration since the calamity. However, this data is far from conclusive. We must take additional measurements to confirm my assessment. So does that mean, like, the world itself has less ether and it's more concentrated in the crystals now? The least among us. Unsettled Scholar. For our next survey, I would have you escort me to Earth's fount. The ambient ether concentrations there are so high that crystalline structures form spontaneously. Consequently, anomalous fluctuations should be much easier to detect. Brilliant, yes? No, don't bother answering. That was rhetorical. Now, come along. Alright, well. This is a pretty little area. So basically there's a very, very shallow creek. And there's, you know, it's kind of little rocks jutting out of the creek, giving us little, almost islands to stand on. And there's giant crystals, but they look different from a lot of the other crystals we've seen. These are multicolored with lots of colors, really. There's like pink and green and just a little bit of like orange or yellow in there. They're quite pretty, actually, and there's a lot of them just sticking right out of the ground. And this looks like maybe a branch or root that is becoming crystallized. There's a couple other ones that look like that where roots are kind of sticking out of the ground a little bit, and they look like they're becoming crystallized. Let's talk to this dipshit. You should be more than familiar with the procedure by now. Pray find a suitable position, for which to keep watch while I take measurements. This is also lasting longer than I thought. I thought we'd be done with this by now. Oh, I have a cutscene. Why do I have a cutscene? Yes, quite high, yet still markedly lower than the historical measurements taken near the end of the 6th astral era. Could the presence of a primal account for the difference? Or is there something else? Something else. He walks forward. I think he's walking away from me. Away from my protection. Something else. Something comes to him. Scion! Scion, come here! I need you! I run over to go find him. That's a dead body. That is a... Wait. Is that real? He's not wearing his eye patch, but it looks very much like real. But yeah, he's one of the Crystal Braves. He's got the bright blue outfit, he's got the short blonde hair, the dark skin. But usually Real's got an eye patch over his left eye. I don't see an eye patch, but it's definitely a dead guy. Hoary Boulder. Fear not, my friends. Help has arrived. Coltonet. There you are, Suicune. Hori and I were worried where you and your charge had failed to return to the appointed hour. Were we due back at some point? I thought it was just like whenever we were done. Hoary Boulder kneels over by the dead body. Gutted like a hog. But not by one, no. These wounds were made with a blade. Doesn't look like he put up much of a fight either. Nary a mark on his sword or his shield. Did you guys do it? Because that means a friend probably did it and his guard was down. Coltonut. I've heard nothing of any Crystal Brave operations in this area. What cause has had Wildred to come here? Wait, that was Wildred? Oh, shit. Unsettled Scholar. What should we do? I didn't even recognize that was Wildred. Coltonut. We will see to the Scholar's protection, Suicune. Hori stands up. Aye, and the boy's remains. You should return to the Rising Stones. The antecedents will want to know what happened here. I nod. And so do I. But again, if his sword's not drawn and there's no sign of struggle, but he's gutted like a fish, that tells me a friend did it, or at least someone that he didn't see as suspicious. But we hadn't seen Wildred in a while, and now he's dead. In the middle of nowhere. He was just like in the middle of a little creek. Like, why was he all the way out there? Everyone is still missing. Oh well. Let's go into Manphilia's office and see what she's got to say. Manphilia. Suicune, you are returned, and you seem troubled. Did the role of escort chafe so? I mean, that's not really the problem. See, what happened was... Manphilia looked shocked. Wildred? Dead? Mayhap murdered? By the 12! How can that be? I will send word to Alphinaud at once. He will want to conduct a full investigation, and send word to Wildred's family. Gods, He was just a boy. Who would do this? And why? I mean, people thought he was a traitor, so could it be one of the Braves acting on their own? And thinking that they're gonna, fix the problem or whatever? A time to every purpose. Ophelia looks sad. Though recent events weigh heavily on our minds, we must needs set them aside for now. She walks around her desk to approach me. We are come to a defining moment in Eorzean history. The grand commemoration of our joint defense of Ishgard, the first time in 15 long years that our people have stood side by side with our neighbors to the north to fight in common cause. This may mark the true rebirth of Eorzean alliance. Failing that, it should at the very least serve to bring our nations closer together. We have every reason to raise our voices in celebration, do we not? But you look so sad. We have bested Dravanians and Asians both, against desperate odds. We have fought and won. But the primals still plague us, and the Empire still plots our subjugation, and our triumphs, remarkable though they are, we have bought at a terrible price. Brave adventurers and allies, broken on the steps of faith, and before our eyes, in this very room, our dear friend, Moenbrita. This is the victory we have wrought, and it is as bitter ashes in my mouth. She closes her eyes. I would sooner stay here and invite those with more appetite to enjoy the feast in my stead. Alas, it is a royal banquet, and all of our allies will be in attendance. It is our duty to present a united front, that we might serve as a beacon of hope to all. I give a little encouraging smile and nod. Ophelia tries to smile. It seems I have no choice but to take my own advice. But then her expression falls for a moment. I instructed the others to meet us in Alda, that we might make our grand entrance together. She looks at a parchment on her desk. Unfortunately, I had to settle for leaving Tataru and Laman a note. If they do not return quickly, they will have to settle for whatever leftovers I can smuggle out of the fragrant chamber. We both nod. And leave the room. Oh, there's real. Off to the big soiree, Suicune? Raise a glass for me, eh? Or not. You don't look best pleased, lass. Something on your mind? Oh, Wildred's dead. He was murdered. In the middle of nowhere. By the Navigator! Wildred's dead? Gods damn it! They must know they've been rumbled. Yeah, that's what he says. They've been rumbled. I mean, sod it. 'Tis past time we had this talk. After our last conversation, I got to thinking about where certain funds were coming from. So I had to dig around, on the quiet like, and sure enough, I found it. Seems a fair bit of coins made its way into the Braves' coffers, courtesy of a Dodo Consortium. A daft name for a business, if ever I heard one, which is what first gave me an inkling that something weren't right. So I went through the ledgers again, and found another half-dozen donations from organizations with stupid bloody names. Didn't take long to find the common thread. All were owned by the Mirage Trust. Oh, I'll give the bastard credit. He showed us up for the amateurs we are. Short of calling one of his businesses the bloody bribery consortium, I don't know what more he could have done to mock our rules on financial contributions. The gods only knows how many men on the first and third are taking Telegi's coin. But now we know as some of them are. I'd wager me right eye that they're the ones what did for Wildred. The earnest young fool had taken to asking the wrong kind of questions. Bound to attract attention, he was. Should have seen it at the time, but I didn't, gods damn me. Still, I don't see what Telegi hopes to accomplish. He had his scheme, with all the care of a drunk pissing into the wind. Oh, he hid his scheme, with all the care of a drunk pissing into the wind. No, he's cleverer than this, so we need to be clever too. That's the only way we'll ever repay this debt of blood. We'll purge every one of them traitorous bastards from our ranks. On that, you have my word. So Telegi's still involved in this. And Suicune, mind yourself when you're an all-die, eh? We're headed into a storm. I can smell it. The kind what'll sweep a man overboard and drag him under, 'fore he knows it. Got it. I'll have to crack some skulls. Alright, well, we're at the promenade. Let's go talk to some peoples. Papa Mio. I do hope Yida is not under the impression that we are here to make merry. We are ostensibly the antecedents' escort, after all. Yida. It's a banquet, so there'll definitely be food, but will there also be dancing? And if there is, will it be before or after the food? Dancing on a full stomach is no fun, but neither is being hungry. What to do? Thancred. Is that... No, just my imagination. He turns to me. Oh, pay no attention to me. 'Tis a habit from my misspent youth, looking over my shoulder from time to time. Ishola. If I did not know better, I should think our bard had run afoul of another jitted lover. Oh, Thancred. Ophelia. We have been waiting for you, Suicune. The celebration is due to begin shortly. I had hoped we might make your introduction together, but Mistress Momodi just sent word that you are needed at the quicksand. Needed elsewhere? Come, but not gone. We will go on ahead, Suicune. Pray join us once matters at the quicksand are resolved. Alright, everyone else heads in. Oh, Thancred stops. Thancred, give my regards to Momodi, and let her know that I will call upon her anon. So I guess Thancred wants something from Momodi. Wonder why I gotta go to the bar for. Is someone trying to get me out of the party so they can massacre everybody? Is that what's going on? Alright, Momodi. What you need? Why am I here? I appreciate you dropping in on such short notice, Suicune. I know you've places to be, so I won't waste your time. You are friends with a crystal brave by the name of Aliane, aren't you? Former adventurer? Come to think of it, I am pretty sure you recruited her yourself. Well, anyway, she came round for a meal not long ago, and before she left, she asked me to give you a message. She said if the others ended up dragging you to the feast, I was to see you got it before you made your grand entrance. Meet me at the station west of the Coffer and Coffin. There's something I must show you. A short message, I'll grant you, but she thought long and hard before picking those words. Barely touched her food, too. Under other circumstances, I'd have thought those signs of a troubled heart. But something tells me she ain't planning to ask your thoughts on a gentleman caller. I mean, those do sound like troubled thoughts, though. That sounds like she knows some shenanigans going on. Oh, she's not even in Ul'dah. She is way out that Black Brush Station. Oh, okay. I thought she was maybe at the airship port or something like that, but no, she is not even in Ul'dah, so I have to actually leave the city to go talk to this chick before I can even enter the banquet. What could be so important that I had to go all the way over here before I enter the banquet? I guess we'll find out. Alright, let's wait at the train station. Yeah, that's actually a train station. There's train tracks and everything. Even though I've never seen a train actually go by in this game. As you stand upon the platform, your thoughts begin to wander. And all too soon, the ghosts of comrades lost and enemies slain begin to file by your mind's eye in solemn procession. Clearing your head, you scan the horizon, but see no sign of Aliane. Well, what the shit? Continue waiting. Alright, well, let's continue to stand here then, I guess. Straining your ears to listen, you hear the chatter of Kakurin and the buzzing of Syrphids, but no approaching footfall. Sighing, you bow your head, only to notice the vial lying at your feet. Oh, there's a little thing on the ground now. Let's see what this is. Laurentius. Oh, Laurentius. I remember Laurentius. Suicune, is that you? What brings you out this way? Laurentius was one guy that I recruited to the Braves. He was that guy that betrayed the whale guys, I think? Yeah. He's the one that betrayed, like, the whale lords or whatever. Wherever those, guards are in Gridania. Because he was like, but I'm too poor. Laurentius. Lieutenant Aliane? Why, no, I haven't seen her about. Had she come this way, I guarantee we would have crossed paths. I must have passed this spot a dozen times. We are to patrol the city's environs. on account of the royal banquet. Captain's orders, you understand. Speaking of which, isn't it about to begin? Yeah. You should be with the other honored guests, enjoying your well-deserved respite. I pray return to Alda, Suikun. If I chance to meet the lieutenant, I will tell her you were here. I nod, and walk off. Laurentius walks towards the tracks and gets on his earphone, but we don't get to hear what he says. Laurentius, I swear if you're another fucking traitor. Oh, here's a cutscene. We see the Sultana.
O Sultan Tree, hallowed spirit of my line.
She seems to be on her knees praying next to her bed in her bedroom.
Through my weakness, the glorious house of Ul has all but disappeared beneath the sands. For want of the strength to raise it up again, it were better that it fall. Forgive me, but I know not what else to do.
Oh, is this where she's going to announce to everyone that she's going to no longer be queen? No, back to Ul'dah. Yeah, the little Merds Gardemer companion I've got. Yeah, he is able to sit on my shoulder because he's doing it right now. It does get in my way, though. Mamodi, I reckoned you'd head straight to the feast after meeting with Aliane. What's the matter? No appetite? I don't think it would matter if I did or didn't, honestly. Clouded vial. This tiny glass container appears to have been used before, but to contain what, pray tell? I found this glass vial. So she wasn't there, but this was, eh? Let's see. Looks to me like an alchemist's vial, but beyond that, I can't say. Might be best if you hold on to it for safekeeping, though. Any road, no use worrying about Aliane. She'll sure turn up before too long. And when she does, we'll soon find out what this was all about. We'll soon find out what this was all in aid of. Besides, you've got more important things to think about. The parting glass. Would you believe that while you were away, another message arrived for you? Well, one did. One delivered by the Sultana's handmaiden, no less. Seems her grace desires a private audience. Her handmaiden will meet you on the royal promenade and escort you to the Sultana's chambers. So, what are you waiting for? Go on then, go! Oh, a private meeting with the Sultana. I guess we're gonna go straight to it. See the Sultana.
You needn't trouble yourself so.
She's speaking to her handmaiden.
Your grace is most kind, but it is no trouble to me, rather an honor.
The handmaiden bows.
If your grace is ready, I shall summon the warrior of light.
I am.
You see Minfilia and the others. She forces a smile to her face. They're in the big conference room with lots of people walking around and talking and tons of food. That's a proper party. See Merwib, Americ, Lucia, Kane-sana. They're all chatting. See Elfenad.
Everyone looks to be in high spirits.
With good cause.
A common victory may serve to unite even the most unlikely of allies. You've brought us one step closer to a united Eorzea.
Your modesty knows no bounds, Antecedent. Were it not for your efforts, Sir Emmerich would never have become such a steadfast ally. When he convinces his countrymen to rejoin the Alliance, we shall all reap the benefits, military and economic. I tell you, we are on the cusp of a new era of unity and prosperity. Territorial disputes are all that divide us now. But I have faith that we will find an amicable solution in time. And failing that, I'll have my trusty warrior of light box the ears of all concerned. Speaking of whom...
She will be joining us shortly. A matter at the quicksand required her attention, but it did not sound serious.
Camera fades to black. Okay. Am I allowed to go to the party now? Some crazy shenanigans gonna happen while at the party? That's not where I want to go. I still think Elfenad has a crush on me. Again, if this were like SWTOR or something like that, where you could, you know, marry people, I would totally do it. I'd have also married, Mo and Bryda, but, you know, we would have seen how that would have worked out. I would have still done it. Even though it would have been a very short marriage. That would actually be kind of interesting, wouldn't it? If you had the, you know, like a life simulator, like a farming simulator, or even SWTOR or something, and your spouse could actually die. That would suck. But it would be interesting, though. I talk to the lady-in-waiting, who then bows to me. Thank you for coming, madam. Her Grace is most eager to speak with you. If you require a moment to compose yourself before your audience, you may have it. Or if you are ready, it would be my honor to escort you to Her Grace's chambers forthwith. Upon proceeding to the Sultana's bedchamber, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Proceed? Yes, I even started my recording fresh for this. You see the Sultana's chamber, with her in it. She closes her eyes.
Enter.
And braces herself.
Your Grace, your guest has arrived.
Pray, come in, and take your ease.
She forces a smile. Back at the party. See lots of people talking. See the leaders of the world.
'Tis well that the steps of faith held against the Horde.
And what of the city proper?
We sustained some few losses, but the heart of our nation yet beats with vigor. I am not certain I could say the same had we not received your most generous aid.
An attack on Ishgard is an attack on the realm. We stand together or fall divided.
Such noble words. After the fact.
That's what I was thinking, yeah. Like, oh, we stand together. Here's a couple of people. Fuck off.
I had hoped to speak in the presence of her grace, but it seems she has been delayed. That being the case, now would seem as good a time as any. Honored friends, pray allow me to convey Ishgard's warmest gratitude for your part in the defense of our lands. 'Tis upon the success of this very alliance that my recommendation to throw open the gates of judgment shall be founded. With the blessing of the Archbishop, it is my hope that Ishgard will soon be reunited with her long-estranged sister nations, and that Eorzea shall once more be as one.
He speaks loudly enough to catch the attention of the entire room, who stops conversing and all look to him as he speaks. Alphanot's not clapping. A Brave walks up to Alphanot and...
Very well.
A Brave walks up to Alphanot and kneels down and gives him some kind of report silently. And while the people are clapping, you see... I'm not sure if it's going to be important, but you see one woman look to another woman as they're clapping, and she gives a nod. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. If anything, it might not mean anything. The Brave stands up and leaves.
Is aught amiss?
Nothing to worry about. I shall return anon.
I'm not sure if you should be walking off by yourself. Yida waves. You see 4 crystal Braves talking. One of them is Yu Has.
You wished a word, Yu Hase?
Camera fades to black.
You may go.
Back in the Sultana's chamber,
Your Grace.
the lady-in-waiting is holding a bottle of wine, and she nods. And walks off.
You must be curious as to the reason for this private audience. The matter I would discuss, however, will soon make apparent the need for discretion.
She closes her eyes.
I intend to abdicate the throne and dissolve the monarchy.
I give no reaction.
You have seen for yourself the storm of turmoil that howls through our streets. The government fails in its responsibilities, and my subjects suffer the consequences of our incompetence. But I will see them suffer no longer. The victory feast shall provide the stage on which I declare the dissolution of the Sultanate. It is mine intent that the ruling class of our golden city should take its place beside the common man in a fair and equitable republic. No more shall this nation bow to the whims of a privileged few. Yet, that which I propose will entail the tearing up of this city's very foundations. And even Roban, with all his strength and influence, will be hard-pressed to keep his footing on such treacherous ground. Thus would I ask you to lend him a steadying hand. You who have endured the wrath of innumerable foes are the one hero in whom I can place my trust. Will you do this thing for me?
I smile and nod.
I am truly grateful. More grateful than I can well express. Much of my dread for the coming days has been quieted.
She looks at her golden goblet, picks it up. She swirls her contents before taking a sip. A big sip. Very, very... Uh-oh. Her eyes widen in shock. And the goblet falls from her hand. Uh-oh. Ruban turns right as the cup hits the ground. Even though we're in a different room. Oh no, she's clutching at her throat. In agony. Reaching out to me helplessly as tears stream down her face. And fades to white. She collapses to the floor. Her crown falling off her head. Telegy Adelegy.
Your Grace!
Uh-huh. You lying motherfucker. The handmaiden stands at the door.
Her Grace, the Sultana, is dead. Poison in her wine?
He kneels down to look at her golden goblet.
You did this!
No one's gonna believe that shit, dude. I'm like, no, I didn't. Come on now.
Spare us your denials! I see no other suspects, and the room has but the one entrance.
It's wine. I'm not the one who poured the wine, you dipshit. He's pointing at me accusingly.
I hereby accuse you of regicide. Men, arrest this viper.
Wow, they actually have the balls to try. Screen fades to black. Now we see the Braves. Crystal Braves. Someone stands behind.
Sir, barring a few exceptions, we have detained all those with allegiance to the Scions. The Rising Stones is also under our control.
So we see Alphinaud speaking to the Crystal Braves, and then another Crystal Brave guy walks up from behind him and holds a sword to his neck. Alphinaud is now holding up his hands in surrender. Alphinaud looks to his left at the sword. Yu Hase indicates to one of the Braves, who salutes and walks off. Alphinaud does not look pleased.
And what do you hope to achieve with this mutiny?
Why, that which we have striven for all along, Commander. The salvation of Eorzea.
Yu Hase? Hase? Really? They surround Alphinaud. I swear if Elfenod dies too, I'm gonna be pissed. Stop killing off people I like, game. We're back at the party, where everyone else is just talking merrily and discussing and not aware that all this shit's going down.
What is the meaning of this?
Telegiatology storms in with his people.
Knights from the homeland. This cannot bode well.
Lord Commander, we have received an urgent message from the Holy See.
Yeah, these look like Ishgardian knights. They've got the chainmail. One dude's got the crown on his helmet.
I am grieved to report that your serpentine foes have resumed their assault. Needless to say, your presence is urgently required. These knights have come to bear you swiftly home to Ishgard.
A surprise attack?
We've had no such word from our men, and the timing is most fortuitous to catch us away from the city.
Most fortuitous indeed.
Lord Commander, we must away!
You have been a most gracious host. I hope that I might one day return the favor. Come, Lucia.
That could be some double meaning right there. Our group is looking uncertainly at each other. Like Menphilia to Yida and stuff. Telegiatology smirks as Emeric leaves. We are outside on a balcony? Thancred speaking to a woman. Because of course he is. He smiles.
Whatever is going on in there?
Then frowns. The lady runs off.
Ah, the ever-dutiful brass blades. I must apologize, but my dance card is rather full. Another time, perhaps?
He reaches behind his back.
Thancred, of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. You stand accused of committing acts of espionage in service to the Garlean Empire.
Espionage? What in the seven hells are you talking about? Ah, if you're referring to that business with the Ultima weapon, then you must understand, I wasn't myself.
Under interrogation, an Imperial prisoner revealed your involvement in numerous dealings with the enemy. We've also been investigating reports that you are a practitioner of forbidden arts. You'd best come along with us.
He smiles.
You invite me to your party and now you want me to leave? I do so detest receiving mixed signals.
Thancred withdraws both his daggers.
Come then. I believe I've lost my appetite for this farce of a celebration.
Screen fades to black again as they attack him. Back at the party, there's nervous chatter going around. Ruban looks around. Everyone can sense something has changed.
You go too far, Lord Adeleji. By what right do you march armed soldiers into a royal banquet and eject state visitors without her grace's consent? You treat the brass blades as your personal army, and show contempt for the throne with your every act. Leave us, now.
Is that an order, General? Mayhap you have mistaken me for one of your flames. You will find I am not so slavishly obedient. As you lecture me on personal armies. As for your outrageous claim that I have shown contempt for the throne, let all here observe that it was not I who feasted while an assassin removed its occupant.
Everyone looks shocked.
I expect this is your idea of defending the nation, is it? This and diluting our forces through these distractions in Cartano and Kurthus. I do begin to see how the ranks of the Immortal Flames came to be riddled with Garlean sympathizers. You are plainly unfit for command.
Wait, goddamn you. Your words make no sense. What assassin?
You mean to say you don't know? We caught the vaunted champion of the Scions in her Grace's private chambers, not moments after the deed was done.
Everyone looks shocked again.
No! No, this cannot be!
Save your breath. You will need it to plead your case. You and your entire order are to be tried for this atrocity.
More nervous chatter.
Bring in the prisoner!
Again, it'd be very easy to prove my innocence. Like, exceedingly easy. Ilbert? Really? Oh yeah. He throws me to the ground like a rag doll.
This woman stands accused of poisoning Her Royal Majesty Nanamu ul Namo, and as suspected accessories to the crime, all members of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn will be detained for questioning.
This is madness!
What a pity. Who'd have thought your tale would end like this?
Should you demand further proof, a vial with traces of the substance used to poison Her Grace was found upon the assassin's person.
Oh, fuck!
How very convenient.
Oh, that fucking dude that met us at the train tracks. It was that guy. He pulled out the vial that I'd picked up.
You would speak of convenience? Who persuaded Her Grace to host this celebration? A diversion which presented you and your confederates ample opportunity to commit the crime, and a crowd within which to fade from view. A more convenient occasion I could scarcely imagine.
How dare you! After all we have done for Uldar!
Hold your tongue, witch! I'll not be ensorcelled! I know all about the dark gift that you and your disciples wield. Oh, yes. I've observed how you worked upon the minds of the Alliance leaders, bending them to your will. And what of your cordial relationship with Sir Emmerich? For years, Ishgard abjured all contact with the outside world, and now the Lord Commander of the Temple Knights treats you with the familiarity of a childhood friend. I'll tell you what I think. I think this desperate defense of Ishgard was but a ruse to deceive us into dividing our forces. Your next move will be to charm your Kurthan allies into invading our lands. Now that is truly ridiculous.
How do you even think of this stuff?
She cannot be dead.
Your bond walks
Stand
forward.
aside, Ilbert. I want to see the Sultana.
Spare yourself the pain, brother. I saw her with my own eyes. For a mercy, the poison took her swiftly. Her handmaiden can attest to that.
Handmaid looks down and shakes her head.
This cannot be.
Ruban falls to his knees.
Nanamo. No!
And pounds the ground with his fists. The camera fades to black. Ilbert leaves, followed by the handmaiden.
Plainly, the Royalists can no longer be relied upon to keep our nation safe. And so it falls to the monitorists of the Syndicate to govern Uldar. But should you wish to help us, General, we would be more than happy to entrust the task of planning Her Grace's funeral to you. It seems only right that you should bury your precious Sultana, and we will be glad to be rid of that burden.
You're really asking him to murder you.
I'll bet you will. You more than any man.
Whatever do you mean?
Telegi's got a evil smirk going on right here.
I mean you had her killed, you black-hearted bastard!
What rot! Though I did have sufficient motive, 'tis true. That young lady caused me no end of grief. She always was a most unwilling puppet. I dare say Her Grace was grateful that someone thought to cut her strings.
He's holding out his arms like a puppet.
You would mock her, then mock her from hell!
Oh shit! Did he really get cut in half? Looks like it. So Ruban took out his swords. Screen went very red. I mean, Ruban had a face of fury. It was all black and red.
Have you lost your mind, General? It is forbidden to draw steel in the royal chambers, much less slaughter our fellow Syndicate members.
Yeah, Ruban is still clothed in red light. But yeah, he literally just moved forward and cut Telegi in half. And just the look of fury on his face as he was clothed in red was pretty fucking terrifying.
You're one of them! You've been in league with the Scions all along!
You're next, you scheming bastard!
Oh shit! Oh, his... Well.
Oh, Ruban!
So Ruban moved to kill Lolorito. A blade, probably Ilberd, but we didn't get to see who it was, interceded, slashed with his sword, and literally cut Ruban's left arm off. His arm is now on the floor. And Ruban, with his remaining arm, was clutching his, his armless shoulder now. And if this was a more M-rated game, there'd be blood splurting everywhere.
Seven hells! Admiral, we must leave.
You saw Ilberd kind of blink slowly. I'm not sure if he's the one who did it, but I believe he was. Yeah, it was Ilberd. Cut off his brother's arm.
How unlike you, old friend. I did not expect to take your arm so easily.
Take the Scions into custody. They have conspired to commit regicide. And arrest this traitor as well.
We're surrounded by tons of blades and brave soldiers.
Ilberd, I hope you choke on their coin.
'Tis better than the dirt I've supped on these long years. We can't all abandon Alamigo and become great war heroes as you have.
Ruban looks shocked.
You are not the man you once were, Ruban. Since that girl strapped the yoke around your neck, you've become docile. She took the mad bull and cut off his balls, and a bull that cannot rot is fit for naught but slaughter.
Yeah, Ruban's basically like on the floor. I mean, got his arms cut off, or his arm cut off, and Ilbert is just looking down at him. Ruban looks so crushed. Ilbert kneels down to look at him.
Shall I tell you who really killed your precious Sultana? It was me.
Oh shit. Yeah, Ilbert kind of looks up slowly, and he has the most fucking evil smile on his face. Again, Ruban is... He can't tell whether he should, like, be super fucking pissed or just sob right now. Oh, he's going with pissed. Damn, he just straight up kicked one of the stone pillars and shattered it. Ilbert sliced the air that caused a huge, like, shockwave that knocked Ruban on his ass. Oh, after he landed on his feet. Yashola had to create a...
doubted you, not for a moment. But there is more to this than I yet understand.
Yashola had created a barrier to block the shockwave, but barely.
Flee this place. Clear your names. Find out who is behind this plot. It is the only way. Now go!
I nod, and Minfilia nods, and we get the fuck out of there. There's a lot of bodies on the ground now. Ilbert runs toward Ruban, who then swings his sword, and the camera fades to white. Holy shit, dude. See as we run from the chamber.
Ah, there you are.
Thancred, where have you been?
Avoiding the fumbling advances of some very persistent admirers. When I realized the celebrations had turned sour, it seemed prudent to slip away and take stock of the situation. 'Twould appear that much of the city is already under tight guard. It occurs to me that expanding the Brass Blade's authority may not have been such a wonderful idea after all.
The success of this plan was contingent upon those thugs having the run of the place. Just how long has this scheme been in motion?
The careful preparations, the maneuvering of forces. I am inclined to agree with the General's insistence that a deeper plot exists here.
So, would I be right in thinking we now have an excuse to pummel as many brass blades as we like?
Unless you plan on pummeling them all, I'm not sure that will greatly aid our cause.
The Sultana's assassination was but one part of the scheme. We too were its targets. And though we did not share poor Nanamo's fate, we are yet hobbled by the charges laid at our door. Where now might we seek refuge?
Where indeed, we may safely assume that our foe has thought to have the Rising Stones watched.
Forgive me for stating the obvious, but our choice of destination will matter little if we cannot secure an escape route out of Ul'dah. Happily, I believe I can provide one. Papashan once told me about the passages hidden in the walls of the palace. If I recall correctly, the fireplace in Animo's chambers conceals the entrance to a tunnel. It should lead outside the city and allow us to avoid any messy confrontations.
Speaking of messy confrontations, here they come. How are we gonna get into her chamber, though? Yida looks at her hand, and clenches her fist, and smiles.
The rest of you go on ahead. I'll handle this lot.
She dons on her metal boxing gloves with spikes. Alright.
By yourself? I suppose I shall just have to join you.
Yida looks determined.
Crystal Braves too, huh? Now this should be interesting.
Papamio stands at her side and draws his staff.
Ida! Papalimo!
Papamio shoots a fireball.
We will hold our pursuers here. Hurry, now. Find this tunnel of Thancred's.
His fireball hit some kind of mechanism, but then dropped a gate between the two groups. So Yida and Palpamio are now separated by a gate between the others, so that we can't join them. Yida and Yushola nod, and Thancred and Yushola nod and run off. Minfilia seems less inclined.
Minfilia, we cannot linger.
She's holding her hand out towards them. She finally turns and runs. There's a lot of guys, though. Screen fades and we are in a very dark corridor. You see a Lalafell. Oh, it's Lolorito. And the handmaiden hidden behind a statue. Lolorito stops, and the handmaiden stands behind him.
Now look what you've done.
Oh, we're back at the fight, and someone sliced at Yida's mask, and you can see that she has a... Well, you only see part of her face, but you can see that she has a blue eye. She jacks a dude right in the face.
Ida, are you all right? There are just too many of them.
I'm fine. I could do this all day. How about you?
Nearing the end of my tether.
They both have determined grimaces on their face. As like 8, 10 more dudes showed up.
Stupid. We're the scions of the Seventh Dawn. The ones who stand between this realm and the evil that's trying to destroy it.
And if you think we'll leave the stewardship of Eorzea to the likes of your masters, then you're sorely mistaken.
They slowly approach the bad guys.
Sorry I dragged you into this, Papalimo.
'Tis hardly the first time, and I'll be damned if it will be the last.
Thrusts his staff and a blue light emerges from it. Blue light basically turns into electricity around Ida. Is she turning Super Saiyan?
Let them have it, Ida!
I was hoping you'd say that.
Her metal fists are glowing very brightly. Damn. She smiles. Her punching the ground basically caused a giant fucking explosion. And the screen fades to white. As Papa Mio smiles. Thancred raises a lantern.
I never knew such a watercourse existed beneath Uldar.
Yeah, we're basically in a pitch black, basically like a giant sewer.
The architecture is of the Sildine style, if I'm not mistaken. The ancients plainly foresaw the need for a ready means of escape.
Ishola heard something.
This way!
Nope, there's the Braves.
Well, that didn't take long. It seems these tunnels were not as secret as I'd hoped.
You two, go on ahead. Thancred and I will deal with this.
What do you mean to do?
Only that which is required to ensure that the dawn's light survive to brighten the morrow.
Fear not, antecedent. You haven't seen the last of these fair features.
I better not.
My friends.
And Philia reaches out to them and takes the lantern.
Leave us!
Thancred puts his hand on his hip confidently. Thancred just kind of shrugs. And I have to run. Run with Menphilia, leaving the two behind.
What is the plan, milady? Shall I take the dozen on the left and you the dozen on the right? The odds are not exactly stacked in our favor.
Numbers will count for little when I bring the tunnel down upon their heads. Though I cannot say I relish the thought of being entombed with you for all eternity.
You wound me. I will have you know that many a maid would kill for the chance to spend forever at my side. Now, may I have the last dance?
He withdraws his daggers. Philia, Yashola, does some hand gestures and calls forth a ball of light from between her hands. Thancred engages in battle. There's one guy dead, two guys dead, three guys dead. Oh, he took an arrow? Are you fucking serious? Did he take an arrow to the knee? I think Thancred just took an arrow to the knee.
Well, this is going splendidly. Now would be a good time, milady!
'Tis done.
The ball of light in her hands grows very bright. She thrusts her hands upward. The ball of light gets bigger and bigger. He swirls frantically.
Forgive me, Mitra.
Forgive me, Mithra. She closes her eyes. Thancred smiles.
Farewell,
Well, back to me running like a motherfucker. And Menphilia.
Hydaelyn, she speaks to me.
A sudden streak of blue light passes either by or through Menphilia, I couldn't tell.
No. I must remain behind, but you cannot stay with me.
Like, no way.
Please, you must go on. You are the warrior of light. You are hope for the Scions and for all the realm.
But I'm not the warrior of light anymore. Heidelin doesn't like me.
As long as your flame continues to burn, the light of the dawn may ever be relit. You must escape and save Eorzea from those who would plunge it into darkness. Tis the only way.
Minfilia runs off. I'm like, dude, what? No, come back. Ugh. I run off. I mean, seriously, they couldn't stop him with a cave-in? I emerged from the sewer, I guess? It doesn't look like a sewer entrance. It looks like collapsed ruins. I look behind me and I close my eyes sadly and continue on. I'm in basically a desert wasteland. Well, not wasteland, but desert area. Elfenod and someone else is approaching. Wait, is it Elfenod? Yeah, it looks like Elfenod. Can't tell who the other person is.
I am glad to see you safe, my friend. What of the others?
Yeah, it's Elfenod. He's just wearing some kind of weird hood. I shake my head, sadly.
Damn that man! Teleji played me for a fool! I thought the Crystal Brave's mine till the very moment I felt the blade at my back.
There will be ample time for soul-searching later. For now, we must put some arms between us and Ul'dah.
Yeah, we don't know who this Lalafell person is. They are clad in armor with their helmet's got like 2 large horns on it. Oh, there's a chocobo carriage riding up to us.
Well, would you look who it is? Need a ride? I doubt it'll be half as exciting as the last trip we took. Not if I have anything to say about it anyway.
Oh, it's Bedmont. The very first guy we ever talked to in the game. The guy that's got the yellow jacket and stuff. We look behind us. That's a lot of Braves. And blades.
Let's not dawdle, eh? All aboard!
I nod. Elfenod gets on the ship first, followed by whoever the Lalafell dude is. I look towards the stream of torches that are rapidly approaching our location. Bedmont gives a signal to get the fuck out of there. My head and close my eyes. Damn it, game! All those people better not be dead, I swear. I'll be mad.
I was stocking up on supplies over in Vesper Bay, you see, when your sister come up and begged a favour. Said her brother was having some trouble down in Ul'dah, and likely needed a helping hand getting away. Thinking them ruins would make a fine hiding place, I decided to try there first. And lo and behold, there you were! Aye, and judging by them soldiers as were pouring out of the city, I arrived not a moment too soon. Ha! Must have been fate that we happened to find you there, though, eh?
He looks to me and I nod.
I had thought to look out for Alize, but would appear she was the one watching over me. I've made such a mess of things.
And who might you be, young sir?
Look into the Lalafell.
Pippin Terrapin, Vice Marshal of the Immortal Flames.
He removes his helmet, revealing his surprisingly long blonde hair. Name is Pippin.
I had been on the Alamegan front these past few moons, but an urgent communication called me back to Ul'dah. Scarce had my boots touched the cobbles, though, when the streets erupted with cries of assassination. I immediately went in search of answers, and came across Master Alfino here. Needless to say, I did not think his imprisonment justified. The blame plainly lies with the Monitarists. Their greed and corruption are well known to me, but for them to take advantage of the situation with such alacrity...
Was that Pippin, you said? Ain't that the name of General Alden's lad?
Yes, I am his son. Adopted, of course. 'Twas only as we were leaving Ul'dah that I learned of father's fate. Once I have seen you a safe distance away, I mean to return to the city and extricate him from this madness.
Then you needn't travel no further than Blackbrush. Our fugitives have a friend waiting for them there.
I dreamed of bringing about Eorzea's salvation, but in the end, 'twas I who needed saving.
I guess no more voice acting. Brenmont. Them soldiers'll keep searching for a while yet. Reckon we'll take the carriage back towards Ul'dah and get the lay of the land. Maybe provide a distraction if need be. Don't hurt yourself, dude. I mean, a lot of people are dying right now, so don't get killed. You three wait here. Help will be along shortly. Stay strong, friends. The real fight's to come. Please don't tell me that. I don't know if I can handle that right now. Alright, let's go. Wow, that was a thing that happened. Alright, well, let's talk to Alphanod. How could I have been so blind? I mean, they fooled all of us. I knew obviously Adelegy was full of shit. But damn, dude, I didn't suspect anybody like that. Alright, let's talk to this Pippin guy. The most unassuming folk can prove to be our greatest allies. That fellow was but a passing merchant, yet he lent us aid without a moment's hesitation, or any hint of concern for his own safety. Though I can well imagine how a man could feel inspired to risk all in your presence. Oh yeah, because everyone knows who I am. Father spoke often of you, Suicune, and long have I looked forward to our first meeting. Needless to say, this is not at all how I envisioned it. He gives a little smile. And walks over to Alphanod, and appropriately it's raining in the game right now. Master Alphanod, you must not give in to despair. That would only play into our enemy's hands. So long as you and Suicune are free, we may still set things right. How? Everyone's fucking dead! Alphanod, Forgive me, Marshal Tarupin, but I... Question mark. Alphanod, my boy, sorry to keep you waiting. What? Oh, Sid! Sup, Sid? Alphanod. Sid? What are you doing here? Sid. Pulling you out of the fire as usual. Your merchant friend told me everything. Pippin. Truly? Then he is no merchant but an angel in peddler's clothing. But tell us, how do you intend to bear our friends to safety? Sid. I hid the Enterprise, but a short distance away. All I need is a destination. To hell, because that's where we're bringing all these motherfuckers! Straight to hell. Pippin. We must find a place beyond the reach of both the monetarists and the Crystal Braves. Ishgard? Question mark? I don't know where else the fuck to go. Alphanod. Court this. Ishgard will not suffer the intrusion of foreign forces in their territory. Oh, I was right. Sid. That settles it. With me, everyone. Because out of all the nations we know of, Ishgard is the most isolated and not really nice to everybody else. So, yeah, Ishgard would probably be the place I'd go to, too. Pippin. Not I fear. I must remain here. I dare not abandon Ul'dah to monetarists and their cronies. You may be certain that they will seek to defame you, both here and in the other city-states. But know that I shall do my utmost to thwart their every effort. Frankly, I do not expect it to be much of a challenge. These small folk will not turn so easily on the Warrior of Light and her allies, no matter what the monetarists claim. Alphanod. Marshal Tarupin, I know not what to say. Pippin. Points to himself proudly. Ha! Now that father would labor to believe. Oh, ha! Now that father would labor to believe. But enough talk. You must go. Master Alphanod, your airship awaits. He gives a little nod. Sid runs off, and does the rest of us. Yeah, the game wasn't lying when it said that there was a long series of cutscenes. That was 50 minutes. Sid. Up, up. There's no rest for the righteous. Off we go. It's nice having your own airship. Pippin gives a little salute as he watches us fly away. Camera fades to black, and we are now in Ishgard. In the frigid lands of Ishgard, of Westeros. Sid watches us leave. We turn back to him. I give a nod, and he gives a nod in return. All very stoic nods. Alphanod. We should make for the Camp Dragonhead and speak with Lord Hatchafant. Mayhap he will know what to do. I nod. Poor Alphanod. Well, poor everybody. Fuck. I wonder if Mitz Gardamer's enjoying the show. Little fucker. He's probably, steepling his fingers or talons or whatever, going, yes, excellent. See, he's been kind of quiet. He probably thinks it's great. Hedgefant. Master Alphanod told me your tale, Suicune. It warms my heart that you should turn to me before all others, and I shall endeavor to deserve your trust. Alas, the situation here has grown more complicated in your absence. 'Twould be best if I explained in full. Oh, here's Alphanod. Oh, he's sitting on a chair looking down. He looks so sad. Alphanod, who managed to escape? And what of this who did not? And what of those who did not? Oh. Before the dawn. So this is the final quest before Heavensword starts. So this is the last one. Then we get to the first DLC. So we went from A Realm Reborn, and all those videos that I just did was the shit before the first DLC. That's crazy to me.
There has been word from the capital. Ishgard has weathered another assault, and 'tis said several wyverns broke through into the city proper. The Temple Knights succeeded in slaying the beasts, but the intrusion prompted orders to further strengthen the guard, and to place the city under a perpetual state of alert. How keenly we feel the loss of our wards at the gates of judgment. Yet we must not bemoan our misfortune. Sir Emmerich is safely returned from Ul'dah, and once more leads the defense of Ishgard. As for the matter of your asylum, I am afraid no progress will be made until the threat to our nation is diminished. But do not despair. You are not without allies.
He points to himself.
You are more than welcome to shelter here for as long as you wish. Pray, think of it as a new headquarters of sorts. The Falling Snows, or some such.
He gives a nod.
All frivolity aside, any who come here in search of you will receive no aid from House Fortom. For once, the Ishgardian reputation for inhospitality shall work in our favor. Agents of Ul'dah will find their every inquiry dismissed, and their every request for entry rebuffed, until such time as their masters have acknowledged your innocence.
He looks to Alphanod, who's just sitting there.
You once fought to preserve the honor of my dear friend. 'Tis a blessing that I may now repay that debt in kind.
Poor Alphanod, he just looks so distraught.
But let us dwell no more on this. Pray, join the rest of your companions. 'Tis bitterly cold this day. I suspect there are those who might welcome the warmth your presence brings.
I smile and give a little nod. Upon proceeding to the intercessory, several cutscenes will play in sequence. Damn it! It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Proceed to the intercessory? No, give me 1 second. Okay. Now let's do it. Let's see how long this shit takes. Oh, Tatsuru's here. Alphanod? Suicune? Is it really you? Alphinaud looks surprised and I smile. All tears shine in Tattoo's eyes and she starts crying. I'm so happy that you are. And she sobs. Aw. I tried contacting Midphilia and the others, but no one would respond. And then Crystal Braves, our own people, turned on us in the marketplace. Lehman told me to run, and so I did. I ran until my lungs burned and my feet ached, but I lost my way, and then... Question mark. Fortunately, I had observed some of the Braves behaving suspiciously beforehand. Who's this? Yeah, who the fuck is this? Oh! It's Yugiri! She's got her helmet, or hood off, so we can actually see her face. So she's, as I said, she's a dragon lady, and I forgot that dragon people don't actually have, dragon faces. She doesn't have, the face of a dragon. She has basically the face of a person with dragon, scales, around her face, and she's got little dragon horns coming out of the side of her head. But otherwise, she looks actually pretty human. And she has long black hair. And maybe a braid tied in the back. It's kind of hard for me to tell, but it looks like a braid with a long blue ribbon holding it together. Tataru. Pretty, isn't she? Anyway, after Yugiri found me, we traveled to Vesper Bay and met up with Urianger. When we told him what had happened, he used his magics to weave a glamour around the Waking Sands. From the outside, our old headquarters now looks like an abandoned storehouse. The transformation didn't take long either. Apparently Urianger started making preparations after the Imperial attack, just in case the Empire ever chose to pay us another visit. Good thinking, eh? Sorry, where was I? Oh, yes, so we waited there at the Waking Sands, hoping others would come, but no one else did. Yugiri. My people are searching for the other scions, even as we speak, but we have met with no success as yet. I had hoped that you might be able to suggest further places to look. But you should know the Rising Stones did not share the Waking Sands' good fortune. Only Crystal Braves await you there. Be that as it may, we yet have cause to hope, do we not? If the two of you escaped, it is not impossible that the others could have done so as well. You may have been forsaken by men and women believed true, but rest assured that the people of Doma yet stand with you. We welcome this opportunity to repay our debts, and shall continue our efforts to locate the others, and see these scions restored to their rightful place of honor. Oh, she's also got green eyes, I just noticed that too. Yugiri does. She's very pretty. See it close up of a fireplace.
'Tis all my doing. I believed myself the only one who truly understood Eorzea's woes, and look what that arrogance has wrought. I gave commands, influenced governments with my certainty. I treated the Crystal Braves, and even the Scions themselves, as pawns in my great scheme to save the realm. But in my headlong rush into imagined glory, I paid no heed to the ground upon which I trod. The salvation of Eorzea. What was it that I hoped to achieve? Did I believe that I could rid the realm of every danger and difficulty? That I could defeat the Empire and the Ascians, and find homes for every refugee? Oh, yes. I was so very clever. Become a guardian of Eorzea, I implored, and sat back to watch my perfect army cleanse the land of chaos. It was all but a means to feed my own vanity. Only when all is lost do I finally realize the truth.
Oh, Alphino.
Hitchafant walks in with some cups of ale.
So, Master Alphino, are you content to remain a broken blade? Is there no flame hot enough to reforge you?
Maybe in coffee, because it looked like he was steaming.
What of the fine companions who yet stand at your side? I dare say the fires of their determination will soon have you slicing the air again with your customary wit.
I hardly deserve such friendship. And besides, where are we to go?
Alphino, if I may? Should this place not serve our purpose, then we shall go to Ishgard. Minfilia told me many times, as long as we stand fast against despair, the beacon of hope will never be lost to sight. Be it in the snow or in the clouds, we few will see that the dawn's light shines again.
Aww. Tetru starts to cry.
You are right, Tataru. Thank you. And thank you for your kind words, Lord Orchefon. 'Tis true that Eorzea yet has her guardians. The Scions have achieved much, and 'twould be remiss of me to discard it all in a fit of self-pity. Let us then resume our journey, together, one step at a time.
Screen faded to black. Oh, you have credits. I hope these are not the same credits as the other credits, because this will last literally 3 hours if it is. Okay, let's skip credits. I've already recorded credits once, I'm not doing it again. Back in the very dark corridor where we had seen Lolorito and the Handmaiden. Handmaiden kneels down.
All has been arranged as you desired, my lord.
The lady in waiting. The lightning shines over Lolorito's smirk in the storm. You see what looks like maybe a dungeon cell? Oh, Ruban is in a dungeon cell. He looks towards the camera. With his arm missing. Oh, we see an Ascian. Which one is it? And Elidibus behind him. Nabrialis is no more. Oh, that is La Habrea. Okay. The Ardor was not his to invoke. His demise was of his own making. Nevertheless, it concerns me. They have extinguished that which should rightly be eternal. Elidibus. Mayhap he was not wholly mistaken. Greater haste may be warranted. Lahabrea. We are of one mind. Elidibus. The northern lands, then? Lahabrea turns to the camera. The earth is fertile, and the seeds well sown. By my will they shall reap salvation unlike any the world has known. Elidibus smiles. By his will. Lahabrea. By his will. Lahabrea walks off into the darkness. And we see Elidibus by himself, supposedly. Someone that looks like... Oh, I was gonna say someone that looks like Urianger standing behind Elidibus, but it's actually Urianger in the darkness. I have answered thy summons, emissary. Speak and make thine intent known. So Elidibus and Urianger are speaking in pitch darkness. Elidibus smiles. I don't like that he's smiling. Elidibus, I would speak of fate, Archon. Yours, mine, the fate of this very star. His smile broadens. Stop smiling, it's creepy. The camera focuses on Urianger as the camera fades to black. Back in Westeros. We see the Ishgard Towers towering in the snow-capped mountains.
Thou thinkest sanctuary lieth beyond.
Yeah, Midgardimer is flying beside me.
Delusion, despair, death. Thou shalt find naught else here.
I look determinedly at the gate. As the camera fades to black. To preserve the dawn's light, the heroes journeyed north. Their hearts filled with hope and eyes fixed heavensward. Achievement unlocked. My left arm. Great. Well, that is where I'm stopping, because after this is actual Heavensword. So, stopping for now.